Write this down. Okay, you guys can help me with this one since you're experts. Are you ready? What do I do first? Yes.
You subtract 11.
Yep. So this whole thing, and I think if I write it down like this, I'm going to do two things at once. I'm going to put the x's. I'm going to group those together, and then I'm going to actually I'm going to do a bunch of stuff, and then I'm going to group the y's together. And then you guys both know that if I subtract 11 from both sides, I get a negative 11 over here, right? So now the other thing is this completing the square, if you recall, the leading coefficients have to equal 1. So these problems are going to be kind of rigged up. They have to be because it's about circles. It's not about ellipses. So, or any other, hyperbola or whatever. So I noticed that all this stuff is divisible by 4. So I'm going to have to say this, and this can be divided by 4. They have to be. Now, the only thing that's not the greatest is this negative 11 by 4, but I suspect when we complete the square, it'll add up to something that's divisible by 4. But this reduces down to now 4 divided by 4 is 1. 1 times x squared is x squared. 8 divided by 4 is 2, so this becomes 2x. This becomes y squared. Oh, this has got a y. Why didn't you guys tell me? And this becomes negative 4y is equal to negative 11 over 4. And I'm sure that usually these are rigged up. We'll get to that in a minute. So now I need to complete the square. So to complete the square, I'm going to say x squared plus 2x, add something here, plus y squared minus 4y, add something here, equals negative 11 over 4, add something here, add something here. All right? So what is it that I'm adding? Well, remember, to complete the square, I take this number, divide it by 2, and square it. What's 2 divided by 2 become? 1. Now that means that this will become x plus 1 squared. Okay? Let's do the y's now. Over here, I'm going to add negative 4, right? I take this number, divide it by 2, and I square it. What is negative 4 divided by 2? Negative 2, right? And then that means that this is going to be y minus 2 squared. Now, over here, this is an interesting thing. What is 1? Well, let me bounce back. So I'm adding this term here. I'm adding this term here. 1 squared is just 1. But I'm not going to write down 1. I'm going to write down 4 over 4. Right? Isn't that the same as 1? Okay. And that is what we have here. Because this becomes 1. And then over here, what's negative 2 squared? Well, that becomes positive 4. But what's 4? So in other words, I'm supposed to add 4, but I'm going to think of it as 4 over 1. I want 4 in the denominator, so I'm going to multiply the top and bottom by 4. And that means that 16... Oh, the stupid tablet. 16 over 4 is what it equals. That does not look like an equal sign. Okay, so I'm going to write this as 16 over 4. Now I'm doing that very methodically because that means, now that I'm almost done, that means I end up with x plus 1 squared plus y minus 2 squared is equal to 4 plus 16 is going to equal 20. 20 minus 11 is going to be 9 all over 4. Okay? Now, that's rigged up in a sense because h has to equal -1. K is going to equal +2. Remember, it's the opposites of what you see in the parentheses. And then remember that this is r squared, so r is going to equal the square root of 9 over 4. And if you use the properties of square roots, that's the square root of 9 over the square root of 4, which is going to be 3 over 2. Now, the graph on this one's going to be a little more challenging. I'm just going to copy the one out of your book. Okay. But basically, the center's right, but it'll look like this. The center's going to be at, let me just paste it here. The center is going to be right here at -1, 2, and then the radius is going to be 1.5. Okay, and that's it. Any questions on that one? I'm going to put it over here so you guys can see it. Make it a little bigger.
Can we go yet?
No, you're not ready yet.
No, like go out.
You guys are so eager to do your homework. So if I let you do your homework,